I think Embiid's going to ask out if they lose tonight. Already blaming the fans and the injury. The fans are done with them in Philadelphia.
Great moments in history have begun with a question.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
And what kind of hair product does Mitch Moss use? But Follow the Money wants to know.
Do you concur? Concur with what, sir? Do you concur?
Love Do You Concur? Welcome in. Follow the Money show presented by DraftKings. Coming in hot out of the gates. Listen carefully. As a basketball analyst, and I love the guy. I remember I started in this business. I was talking about it one of the first weeks I was on air. He was up for the Monday Night Football job. Think about that. Charles Barkley and Inside the NBA overrated.
Oh, just because he says some crazy things once in a while?
He's entertaining. I'm saying as a basketball analyst, as in terms of breaking down a game and X's and O's and what you saw and what you think's going to happen. And you saw, this isn't the be-all, end-all, but you see he's like 3 for 30 with the same game parlays, and also it's a lot of like the Michael Wilbon thing going on too, where you completely ignore analytics and you're not looking at stats and you're not looking at numbers and you just, back in my day, and this is how it was in the 80s, so this is how it's got to be now.
Well, he was always steadfast in believing that
jump shooting team
could never win it. This was after multiple jump shooting teams had won a title. And he's like, it's never going to happen again. Where I'm like, wait a second. It was the year after, I believe, or 2 years after the Spurs won in 2014. They were a jump shooting team.
They were.
And it was beautiful basketball. And he was adamant that a jump shooting team. Yeah, he said some asinine things.
As a basketball analyst, is he overrated? Do you concur?
It's quite possible. But I will say this about Charles Barkley, that show will never be the same once he leaves.
Yes.
Every other network in the world would do whatever they could to steal him from TNT. I don't even know who's on the other networks because their shows are nothing compared to that TNT show.
You have talent there at the other networks, but they don't have to put the right people on air.
I don't even know who's on. I don't watch, so I don't know. I can't comment on it.
I know, but that's, yes.
But for 20 years, this show has been the show in sports to watch. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, how long are we going to do the Kenny Smith run to the wall thing, to the board? How long are we going to do this? And he fell down yesterday. But I mean, the other thing, it's the same thing with Shaq.
Why is he on the show?
I don't think. What does Kenny Smith say?
What has he ever added to the show?
Here's Shaq for 5 years. Get the ball to the big guy down low. You got to dominate. You're 7'2", 400 pounds. It's easy for you to say. Yeah. Get down, dominate, take over. I mean, come on. The Galveston thing was great. Beyonce's mom coming back at him. The go fishing segment is always good. Mm-hmm. Taking shots at he says stuff most people can't get away with. But we also got like a little Taylor Swift thing going on here too, where like she could put out anything and it's going to be a hit and no one's going to criticize her. Well, it's here where it's like, that's Charles again. It's like he's in Dennis Rodman territory. Do you believe what Barkley said?
Well, that's because he can say, and he does it now. He probably does it just to be a little out there and extreme. But he can say whatever he wants. He's the only guy that can get away with that to this day. And I would tell you that every other network and every other sport, they've tried to find their Charles Barkley, and nobody's that guy.
Yeah.
Hockey, NFL, doesn't matter. There's nobody like him.
No doubt. This happened to me the other day. I was dealt this. I know people who've hit more royals than straight flushes. A straight flush should pay a lot more. Do you concur?
I wholeheartedly agree.
It's hard to hit.
I was playing 10 play.
It pays the same as a 4 of a kind?
Yeah, I was playing 10 play, double the other day. And I hit one, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It was barely even worth hitting.
How does it pay the same?
I don't understand that at all.
You won $250. You feel like what?
Yeah,
it doesn't make it's hard. It's hard.
It should absolutely be right below like Royal Flush, right below it.
Yes.
Or if you want to get like the double, the triple double, it's like 4 aces in a kicker. It should be in that territory.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. Embiid and Durant will ask to be traded this upcoming season. Do you concur?
Oh, I concur. And has it happened already with Kevin Durant with the comments that he made?
Well, I think the Embiid thing's coming. I think that's a lock. I think Embiid's going to ask out if they lose tonight. Already blaming the fans and the injury. The fans are done with them in Philadelphia. They've had enough.
Yeah.
It's just the same song and dance. You can't even get to a conference final.
Yep.
And plus the body breaks down. Just get what you can. He's in his 30s. Cash out.
I think Durant absolutely is going to. There's no way the Suns could run it back, right?
We do. Well, see, this is the thing, though. Is Durant going to do this every year?
Yeah.
You can't blame the coach, ask for a different coach, and blame the system or change teams every year. I mean, it's really a tough look.
I did see a couple of trade speculations for KD. One of them was to Boston for like Jaylen Brown and some other stuff. I'd find that intriguing. The Warriors were on the list. I did see one OKC deal. The Thunder would just go to relegation if you make the deal, because the person threw out, it was everybody on their team for Durant. And like, you're not going to do that. Stop it already. To go back home and maybe win a title. But I think there are some spots that would make sense for him. The problem, though, Paulie, is these contracts are so gigantic. Like, for example, what can the Suns do with Bradley Beal? He's got a no trade, right. So basically nothing. But a contract like that, you have to match $55 million contracts for $55 million contracts.
Oh, it's already started. I saw it already. Because Stephen A. Smith had the report about Booker. Knicks fans are already saying, we're good. Booker, bad fit. Don't want him. I mean, he's a superstar. He can score, but
sure,
I'm not going to kill you if you say that. But the Knicks fans love the chemistry and what they have going right now.
On that note, the crowd at Madison Square Garden for a Knicks game is the closest thing we have to college football, or dare I even say a European soccer match in this country.
100% concur. Imagine if they get to the conference finals. Oh. It's a madhouse. Remember what we talked about last week? Brian Mahoney on the show. He woke up the next day after they won Game 2 with a headache. It was that loud. He's doing his report and writing his story. His hands are shaking. It's so loud. DiVincenzo is doing the post-game interview in-house with the reporter, and he can't hear. She's standing right next to him. He can't hear the question. It's that loud. And it's only going to... Now, it also is it is a corporate spectacle. Again, those prices are outrageous. But still, they are basketball nuts, fanatics.
And
they are into it, and I hope they close it out tonight. And give me. I'll tell you, it's possible. Give me Boston, New York conference finals, hockey, and NBA.
What do you think the get-in price for a Knicks-Celtics game would be? Game 3 at the Garden. Get-in price? Can you find a ticket for less than $1,000?
I doubt it. I
can't imagine.
Go back to the Stanley Cup final when the Rangers made it. It was Rangers-Kings. That was a huge price.
Yep. An NFL division parlay combining the Eagles, Chiefs, Texans, and Falcons is bettable, in my opinion. Do you concur? I like to bet division parlays in every sport.
You don't even...
Who do you want to leave off?
I could leave off the Texans, although I like them to win that division, but I'd still feel... I feel very good about Eagles, Chiefs, and Falcons.
And Falcons? Do you want to throw somebody else on there?
Yeah. But that's... 3 will pay... That'd be a nice payout.
Yeah,
I love the Chiefs. I mean, to me, that's free money. The only way you lose that if something happens to Mahomes. Everyone's rebuilding in that division.
Oh yeah, Chargers.
And they win it every year, anyways.
Their win total's 8.5. Are the Chargers going to win 9 games just because of Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Their roster stinks.
Yep.
On that note, the Niners' window in the NFC may have already closed. Do you concur?
No, I do not. I think they're right there and going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm good with them. Should have won the Super Bowl last year.
Now listen closely.
Could have done it 2 years ago.
Listen closely.
I
may have already closed.
I'm fine. I'm fine with Purdy. I'm fine with all the weapons.
I'm not saying I'm not.
I'm good. I think they're going to be fine for years to come.
Ooh, I think their window is this year and maybe one more year. But I also
who's better? How many teams are better right now?
Detroit.
Oh, okay.
They're right there with them.
Well, how long is Goff the quarterback? Okay, but that's Detroit. He
was awesome last year.
Yeah.
We saw the Packers play them.
Packers should have beat them.
Blew the game.
Yeah, but they got to do it again. They got to prove it to me.
I think the Eagles are going to be really good again this year.
Probably.
Yep, those are 3 teams right there.
Who wins that game if Purdy doesn't get hurt? Who knows? But maybe they won that game in Philly 2 years ago.
There's already talk about, this year, again, Ayuk, Samuel, at some point, again, they're not going to be able to play all their players. They better hope that the draft picks here can replace some of these guys because they're not going to be there forever.
Yeah, he's made some egregious decisions, but Shanahan's a great regular season coach. And getting a game plan together. It's just the other thing. The thing that kills them every year is they get injured. They're losing guys. That's a mash unit. Yeah.
What happens if we're talking about this team in 2 or 3 years and the window truly has closed and they have nothing to show for it?
Yeah.
Other than a couple appearances. And you can make the case they blew both Super Bowls.
There you go.